Hello there. Welcome back to Maximum Weight. It has been a while, but we're finally ready to hopefully start knocking this challenge a little bit out of the park. So, for those of you who are a little bit uncaught up like myself, we're currently in 2026. We are playing the Maximum Weight Challenge, which basically means that our car needs to be 40 kilograms, while the AI vehicles are 0 kilograms. Basically mean that we have a pretty significant debuff to our car compared to the AI. And as you can see, Red Bull here has already beat us in basically every type of cornering, which is not unsurprising. And we're basically going to try and beat them here with top speed, high preservation, and the advantage of being a player. This is the 2026 season, so this is a big regulation change season. Basically, our final chance, I dare say, to get this done. And we have started off the first race of this season pretty well with a 1-2 here, 44 points gained. And as you can see, the rest of the teams here did not score super well. So with that in mind, we are going to try and do the best that we can here to get this challenge knocked out of the park, probably over the next 2-3 episodes maybe. But we are ready here to just continue kind of where we left off here, jump directly into Jeddah. We are still going to be developing the car. We're going to be going all in this season. Let's see if this actually pays off or if it ends in, well, abject failure. Our first running qualifying in Jeddah has put us a little bit behind Verstappen here, 6/10 and 8/10, which means that the Red Bulls are probably starting to activate a little bit. The RBs are strong. We saw that with Ocon getting a podium. But Russell, Verstappen, we have Norris and Piastri. We do have a couple of combinations here. That is going to be a little bit of a concern this season, I do think. So, big question is going to be, how is this quality session actually going to turn out for us? We can see Carl's getting ready to leave the pits here. I kind of want to allow Piastri to go. I think we just need to take this window here. And unfortunately for me, I kind of messed that up a little bit. We're going to end up giving Russell a bit of a tow here. Leclerc is, of course, going to give Hamilton a better one. But I think we timed it just about good enough here that Piastri isn't actually going to slow us down, but he is going to slow down the other Red Bull. So with that said, qualifying session is underway. Are we going to see any improvements? I hope so. Verstappen was dangerously quick. We have an improvement in the first sector. How about the second sector here? We are definitely helping that Red Bull. Yellow for Hamilton, 2 greens. And Leclerc doesn't actually improve at all. But neither does Russell. So third and fourth here, well, it's not going to be terrible, but it's also not going to be great. We're going to have to try and get a good start here. All in all, not the worst qualifying session. It's just a refresher, really, of where our pace is at. So that is good. I don't like that Verstappen has reawakened, though, this early in the season already. No strategy. I think what we're going to do is what we usually do here. We have such good tire preservation that doing a soft to medium here is not going to be a challenge at all. The question is, how hard can we gap the cars behind? I'm kind of tempted to actually do this. Then we just push towards the end of the stints. And I think we're just going to do that. Gonna take advantage of the fact the AI does go full send. And the fuel, well, max fuel, I think was the rule. Need to remember that. But yeah, we are max fueling the cars this season. And again, the max amount of fuel, the reason why Leclerc and Hamilton have different fuel levels, it's actually funnily enough because smoothness also affects your fuel. So the fact that smoothness has an indirect effect on the fuel load of your car is kind of funny. But yeah, 2.9 laps versus 53 laps. Very minor in this scenario, but as you can imagine, it is going to have an effect, and hopefully we will not explode with the maximum fuel load that we'll be running this whole season. But with that said, let's just jump into Jeddah here, and hopefully we can have a good start. Hopefully I will not be making any parts I'm not allowed to use, and hopefully I'll remember to overfuel every single race. Lights out and away we go. High overtake risk immediately. Decent started for Hamilton. Not good enough to jump any car ahead, but good enough that we'll be happy with it. As a tire say, there are a couple of hard runners that could make life a little bit difficult for us. Same here with the medium runners, but I think with how things stand right now, we will not need to worry too much. The problem here would be Verstappen already getting a second on Ocon. Yeah, Verstappen here. We're gonna have to reel him in, of course, but that could be trouble. But as we've seen before, the lead car breaking away isn't actually a problem because they're just using more ERS than the second place car, and they'll get reeled in very, very soon. 14 laps into this, and we start seeing pit stops, with Norris being one of the first ones to pit here. We have, for the most part, caught up to Verstappen. We're 2.5 and 5 seconds behind. Hamilton has been squabbling a lot with, well, basically Norris, as it turns out. Fuel is also starting to get more towards the side where we'll have an advantage. And in terms of tires here, we have definitely managed a lot better than our rivals here. Piastri also pitted a couple laps earlier. But yeah, we basically have used 30% while they've used 60%. So tire preservation-wise, we do have a huge advantage that we'll try and convert into a race win today here. Now, we also do have Tsunoda here, driving around with a destroyed wing. Bottas, I believe, suffered the same fate. They've both crashed, but not caused any virtual safety car or anything of the sort. Just had some couple of minor incidents on their own. 15 laps in here. I dare say it looks very, very promising. Let's see how the rest of this stint and the pit stops actually end up treating us here. 20 laps in here, and Verstappen is almost caught us again. So Verstappen actually went to a new soft tire, and he's been absolutely destroying it. Same here with Ocon, really. And what's going to happen is basically that we are now on very, very similar strategies because they both need to pit again, as you can imagine. And as a result of that, us running 1-2 right now is actually us just running 1-2. Now, Ocon and Verstappen are going to be a little bit quicker because they have fresher tires, but we're going to destroy these right now, get on the medium, and hopefully be able to take advantage of that to get a little bit of a win here. Still a couple of laps out, though. We are finally about to pit here. We stayed out a lap longer than I planned, as Russell has caught up with us here. But we are now pitting, and interestingly enough, Ocon is pitting with us. At least it does seem that we had clean stops, and we did not get jumped by Ocon, 2.4 and 2.3. And Ocon has gone to a medium. So as I mentioned here, they're basically on the exact same strategy that we are. And that leaves for... That means we'll have some opportunities here to cause a little bit of mayhem. On the negative side, we have run with basically an overheating engine the entire time. And that is going to be very, very negative for, well, our engines. But it's just the cost of doing business, as it were. Currently, we are 16 seconds behind Russell, 20 seconds for Hamilton. And pit stops around it take a good 20 seconds. So we're still basically net 1-2, I dare say. Everyone basically ahead of us will need to pit. And Verstappen comes in right now for a medium tire. Basically doing the exact same thing we are. The question is just going to be, is Hamilton going to be able to beat Verstappen out of the pits? And I think the answer to that is going to be just about beats Verstappen. That is really, really close. But Verstappen, unfortunately, does get the overtake done even so. Ocon holding us up just enough for Verstappen to come out ahead. We see a yellow flag too, but as long as Hamilton stays with Verstappen, I'm not worried. Who has crashed, though? It's Show and the Mercedes. Just hits the sign pod. That's unfortunate for both of them, really. But no major incident. That's just gonna keep things going. But yeah, the plan is simple. We manage our tires. We try and stay within DRS of Verstappen if we can. For Hamilton, this means a little bit of deploy. But as long as we can stay with Verstappen and manage our tires while Verstappen destroys his, I'm going to be very, very happy with this race. So let's see what we can do here. With just 8 laps to go here, we find ourselves in a bit of an interesting situation. As you can see, Ocon and Verstappen has completely destroyed their mediums. But Russell has been pretty cheeky here, and he's actually pitted onto a soft tire, and not only pitted onto a soft tire, but he's used it to create a 3 and 9 second gap here to us. And that is a little bit concerning. Now, on the flip side, we can probably go full attack till the end here. So that is exactly what we'll be doing. We are going to be starting to push these tires in the hopes that we can catch him. That's going to be goal number 1. And already here you can see that we are taking more than half a second out of his lap time. Just this lap. That push is already being very, very effective here. 31.2, 30.9. And we are taking 1 to 1.3 seconds out each lap. And if we keep this up till the end of the race, we should just about be able to catch him. So let's see if we can actually get that done. For Leclerc here, I'm going to need him to clear Russell, get the overtake done quickly. But Russell is definitely starting to push right now to try and get away from us. But yeah, as I mentioned here for Leclerc, when we do overtake, we need to get away. And Sainz actually picked up a puncture. And we can see Hulkenberg do the same here. Well, we're basically guaranteed to see Hulkenberg do the same. The AI is pretty stubborn. But yeah, Alpine has a puncture here at Jeddah. Not a terribly big surprise. It happens. But as I mentioned here for Leclerc, the job now is going to be to just use all of his battery, overtake, and break DRS as quickly as possible. Russell is defending pretty well here, though, but he is losing a lot of time on this defense. And Sainz here is actually protecting Russell. That's so annoying. Can Hamilton clear Sainz cleanly? I think he did. And with that, as you can see, we gained 2.5 seconds, really, on that lap. Hulkenberg did get the puncture, as expected here. And honestly, I do need to get Leclerc by Russell. He has actually gone by. My bad. And now we just need to try and create that gap. Because Russell getting DRS here would be pretty bad for Hamilton's chance of getting second. I think we just about broke DRS. For Hamilton then, push is going to be the name of the game. For Leclerc, we can just deploy a little bit longer here just to be on the safe side. I think that should be good. And for Hamilton now, we are coming up on Russell. And I think I will harvest for a lap or so once we are within DRS. I think I saw Sparks ahead, but luckily that is the pit lane, so we are safe. And yeah, Hamilton now has caught up to Russell. And with those tires reaching 38% here, I don't think we have too much to worry about in terms of getting by. But I'm still just going to run a little bit of harvest here to be on the safe side. And that should make an overtake pretty much a done deal in the near future. So even if we don't get it done on this lap, to be fair, Hamilton could get it done with DRS. Look at how close we're running to the car ahead. But yeah, we just want to recharge that battery a little bit. And the overtake is now happening. I think Russell has DRS though. Maybe. Yeah, he did in fact have DRS, so I kind of wasted the battery a little bit there. But the tire difference, energy, we should be able to still break DRS here before we get to the next section zone. And yeah, just like that, it has already happened. And a 1-2 seems very, very likely here. Ocon is still squabbling with Verstappen, though. There's even a Sauber in between. Sauber Defense League here. But yeah, that should be another 1-2 to add to our collection. So with that, we'll just speed it up a little bit. Honestly, if Ocon can hold off Verstappen, would be peak. But I kind of doubt that. Not gonna lie. Ocon and Verstappen have very, very similar tires here. They're running side by side. Ocon has had a better start this season, but I can almost guarantee that Verstappen will have a better finish. Right now, he's falling down to 6th there. So, again, that helps us out tremendously. Ocon playing a bit of a wingman role here. And in Jeddah, similarly to Bahrain, we finished 1-2. Unfortunately, no faster lap for us. Just didn't have it in us to secure that. But with Leclerc winning, Hamilton coming second, Russell taking third. The big question now is going to be, can Verstappen improve? He's improved past Piastri. No, Piastri went past Ocon, sorry. But Verstappen ending 6th day is actually really, really good for us. The more points McLaren, Red Bull and the RB here's squabble between each other, the better for us. We have a red flag here. What's happened?
Going into the pit lane.
Did anyone crash? Did the AI run out of fuel? I guess Gasly ran out of fuel here or something. That's kind of funny.
This is a wonderful moment.
The fact that the AI actually ran out of fuel there. But yeah, we put another one in the bag. We are going to keep on trying to do that. Leclerc now with 51 points. 26 points clear of third place. Which again is just due to the fact they all are taking points off each other. Which is really, really good for us. We have lost 1 point this season though. Basically that fastest lap. But again, it's a loss that I'm willing to take. We do have a new chassis design completed. I do also believe that I have a fresh CFD period. So I just want to take a look here. The chassis that this would be, it would be an upgrade. It would be a small one, to the point where I wouldn't worry about it right now. So I think we're going to start manufacturing 2 more chassis here. We're just going to need them to basically keep for now. How we're looking front wings, let's make a... I just need a refresher here. We're not making any more front wings at the moment, so let us go ahead and make 2 spare ones. Basically, right now, we are just going to start saving up parts, if you will. And it looks like we have done a fairly decent job of that. Underfloor. Pretty sure we CFD that one the first time. Yeah, it looks like we are fine. So just build extra car parts now with these manufacturing slots. And then I'll be happy. Now, we do have a CFD period on our hands there. And what I think we are going to do is just put it into front wing, rear wing, and then we'll work from there. Question is just, is it pointless, if you will, to put it into the front wing? Not necessarily. Interestingly enough, we do lose some tire preservation doing it like this. We could go all in on tire preservation if we really, really wanted to. I don't think it's going to be necessary. But we're not really gaining a lot of cornering either with this. So what I'm going to do is actually this for this front wing, because it's basically where the CFD is going to be focused. So getting a little bit extra time preservation on the front wing would be good. It's not going to be game changing anything like that. But when the gains are this small potentially, I'm happy with doing it like this. Put 6 engineers on it. We don't really need to rush projects right now. We can take it a little bit slow. We are 1-2ing at the moment, so let's just play a little bit safe. The underfloor here, we're getting another addition. Sideboard, suspension. We'll be working on all of these parts over the course of the season, of course. And with that in mind, let's go ahead here and go straight to Australia. In terms of the size, the underfloor, the side pods, I'm probably just going to keep on making more additions. Probably 1 more addition underfloor, 2 more addition side pods. Basically, we want to get to the 5th edition, and then we're going to apply the update to the car. Australia here is promising to be a spectacle. We're currently in Q3. We are having a wet quali session, as you can see. Both Red Bulls, both McLarens, and Ocon has made it through to this Q3 session. And in this case, it's actually going to be drying up towards the end. Now, this race is going to be a bit of a test for us. And it's not really because of qualifying. It is because of the race itself. It's also going to be wet. So we'll have to see how this qualifying session actually plays out. And we are going to use a fresh Inter here for our final run. So we're basically just going to wait now until it dries up. We're going to try and go out as late as we can without risking getting impeded, as Verstappen goes out very, very early here. And honestly, I think we go out after Verstappen has passed here. Porsche is going to be a little bit of a problem, but hopefully he'll be the only one we need to deal with. That is kind of bad, though. I don't want both my drivers to be inside of each other. That is a problem caused by Porsche. So we're going to take manual control of Leclerc here, just to try and create a little bit of a gap to Hamilton behind. Unfortunately, this means that the tires will not be even close to warm. And we are now doing our final runs here. Russell did lock up. And that will probably have a pretty negative effect on his lap time, which means that we might be able to get front row here. But it remains to be seen. Leclerc now, while pushing, is getting a purple first sector. Hamilton has green sectors coming his way. So, having those tires be cold at the start of the lap definitely did not cause too many problems. That is a very close top 3. Leclerc goes quicker, though. Unfortunately, Hamilton is a couple of tenths off. But Leclerc is on pole here. Piastri is second. And the Red Bulls here have a pretty terrible quality altogether. So we'll definitely take that. That we can be very, very happy with. But yeah, Ocon in the RB is proving to be more dangerous than Max right now, a little bit. Now, as you can see, we had moderate rain in quali. We're going to have moderate rain in the race itself. And that rain is scheduled to arrive with a downpour around lap 20. AI expects it to be around lap 24. And if we take a look at Hamilton here, expecting it to be lap 28. So, as you can imagine, pretty late for that rain to arrive. Can we run a light tie to lap 28? Not really. So basically, let's see what we can do. This would be one strategy that we could do. Another one would be a light medium to lap 28. That is doable. Or we can just do the normal hard stint till the chosen lap, so to speak. The hard is expected to actually be quicker. Just running a standard hard here could be the play. We're going to lose 6 seconds running light. And generally here, I don't think we're going to need to. If anything, we might want to run it more aggressively. So standard hard seems to be the choice of the day, really. And then we'll just have to pay attention to the weather. And for Leclerc too, I think we're just going to slap him on a standard hard. It's going to be a bit slower, but again, as I mentioned, with our tire preservation, if need be, we can just go full send, full attack when we start seeing the rain 12 minutes or so out. I don't think we need to worry too much about that scenario. But yeah, we have overfueled here. We are going to go... It feels wrong not to click this anyway, but we are going to just leave it as is. Hamilton here, we will hopefully be able to get the overtakes done before the rain arrives. For Leclerc, playing defense is going to be key. But as you can see with the buffs to our drivers, they're both going to be pretty quick. Overtake push, maximum amount of fuel, 0.2 laps, more worth of fuel for Hamilton. But yeah, with that in mind, let us jump into the GP here.
Welcome back, everyone. Brace yourselves for the Australian Grand Prix.
I see a lot of hard tires, so...
And it's lights out.
Oh, that is a brilliant start for Hamilton, it looked like. Not a good start there for Ocon. That should be us up to 4th. We'll take that. Good start to this race, all things considered. I'll have to admit, I am considering going light here on the hards. And I am going to do that. Simply because the AI is going to use theirs a lot more aggressively than me. There are some medium runs here in Verstappen, but I think while we are in the DRS train, running light is going to be the correct choice. If we end up running the tires too cold, we can change it. But for now, this is definitely going to be the way to do it for us here, I think. Gaps aren't really forming because we're running in first. Could see ourselves get overtaken by Hamilton. But yeah, as I mentioned, for now, management is going to be the name of the game, like usual. And Piastri, honestly, if he pushes and gets a win here, that's fine. I think, again, just managing our tires better than the AI is going to be the key to victory here. Let's see how this race develops as we await the rain in 20 laps time. We have gotten a safety car here as there has been some Aston on Aston violence. Lawson here has locked up and taken out his teammate. Putting both of them in the wall. This is not a great look. Sainz also picked up some damage from that by looks of it. Classic Alpine behavior. I'm sorry, Flu, but yeah. This actually kind of benefits us. We have lost some positions because we've been managing tires. Ocon and Verstappen are pitting. Unless everyone pits here, that's going to be a really, really bad choice. And medium tires here. That's not unsurprising. Norris on a hard. The fact that Verstappen and Russell didn't really get punished too much is kind of amazing. But yeah, that is changing things here. The rain is still expected around lap 20. I think we might need to go a little bit aggressive here, honestly. Go aggressive on the strategy. At least standard. But yeah, that safety car does change things a little bit. Not massively, mind you.
Try to keep the temperature on tires.
But it does throw a little bit of a wrench into our plans. The track is already really, really cold. Standard for now should do the trick, I think. And then we'll just have to keep an eye on this one here. Every 4 minutes we'll check if it's still clear skies or if it changes to rain. Then we'll start pushing.
Safety car in this lap.
Might need to go aggressive here just to keep up with the Piastri.
Next lap.
I don't think we need to worry too much about that, as I mentioned. I don't think McLaren will be the team to cause us the most grief this season. They are in second place if things remain as they are. But that's only if things remain as they are. I wouldn't be too worried about that. Now, Piastri has actually gotten a really, really good escape here. But that's kind of what happens when safety car restarts. They get a good launch, get away a little bit. I wouldn't worry too much about it, though. We're going to reel him in for sure. Still cloudy, so I'm just going to manage. We're going to start pushing probably in a couple laps. But yeah, rain here does seem to be inevitable at this point, and it is getting a lot closer. If we take a look at strategy, can we push here till lap 20? And the answer to that is we can go full attack till lap 20 and a little bit beyond that. So I think that gives us our answer to what we do. We go full send, we gamble. Worst case, we run the car a little bit aggressive towards the end of the stint. Yeah, we're going to try and reel in Piastri here. We have given him a little bit of a freebie. Let's see if we can manage to reel him back in. So the amount of time that we're losing here from battling has actually been quite insane. And for Hamilton, he has just been pushed wide a couple of times. So he's fallen down to 7th. Not a great place to be. And with Pocher now, of course, some problems for him. That's just going to make his life even worse. Ocon has actually managed to overtake us here. And as you can see, those mediums are getting destroyed. Those mediums of Verstappen's too are getting destroyed here. But they are making quite the strong effort here. And the rain is now only 4 minutes away as Hamilton locks up. And things go from bad to worse here, down to 10th. I think we're going to be dropping a fair amount of points here as things stand. We're definitely going to need to nail this crossover period if we want to get anything out of this race. There's just no way around it. Leclerc, I would love to get away from Russell, but that's going to be really, really difficult. But yeah, this rainy period is definitely going to be causing us a bit of grief. And we're not... the safety car definitely impacts us negatively twice here because we have a ton of spare fuel. And that makes life a little bit harder. It is going up pretty quick here. It's gone up to 30 already. The question is, do I want to gamble and jump in early? I think for Hamilton's sake, jumping in early might be the play here. It is supposed to just go straight up. He's going to get to 70 by the time he leaves the pit lane. I think that's going to be a pretty close bet, but one that I'm willing to take here. So for Hamilton, just get in the pits on this lap. We do gamble a little bit, try and get some undercutting done on the cars ahead. Piastri is also pitting this lap, so I think that is the correct answer. I'm not going to lie. It's already 40 millimeters. It's just going to go up super quick. Anyone who stays out is going to suffer. So let's just make sure that we get both of our boys in right now. Hopefully, I haven't made the call too late here for Leclerc. We'll see.
Ocon just pitted.
And yeah, everyone is pitting. Norris is staying out. Kind of classic McLaren there. There's a... But yeah, everyone is pitting. Hopefully we don't lose out in the pit trouble here. We're getting held up.
Track will be clear.
What about Hamilton here? Getting held up a ton here. That is bad. From 10th to 18th. We should have just stayed out just to avoid pit lane messes, as it turns out. We lose 2 positions there. Piastri is... sorry, Leclerc actually has jumped Russell in the pit lane. Well, that is good. And for Hamilton here, we did lose a couple of positions, and we're gonna have a hard job of getting those positions back. I'm not gonna lie here. It is now full rain. We have a virtual safety car as Sainz
Virtual safety car deployed.
has hit the wall in the Alpine,
Positive.
and that kind of saves Norris here. I'm not gonna lie. He gets a virtual safety car to fit under. Magnussen gets the same benefit,
Let's take a closer look.
but even then, they've lost a lot of they lost a lot of time this lap with the rain. So yeah, that kind of sucks for us. Question here is where's Norris and Magnussen going to come out? Are they going to beat Leclerc out? And the answer to that is actually yes. That virtual safety car saved them so badly here. And Gio also just barely comes out ahead of Hamilton. Okay, that makes my life a lot harder. There's no way around it, really. Again, the fuel. We have 10 kilograms worth of extra fuel. We have 50 kilo... We have cars that are 50 kilograms overweight at the moment compared to the AI.
VSC ending.
And that is kind of nuts. Now, for Leclerc's sakes, I'm going to need him to overtake immediately. So we're just going to check that we have everything where it is. I still want to run light for the time being, but we'll put them up to standard when they need to overtake. And we need to just get it done here on this virtual safety car restart, if we can. Leclerc is already looking for an overtake opportunity. Hamilton is doing the exact same thing against Gio.
Both axles are cool.
But hopefully we can also get temp into these tires a little bit. Honestly, aggressive until we get overtakes. Until we run out of energy, basically. Should be fine. McLaren is currently suited for a 1-2 here. They've been really, really lucky. Of course, I gave them a lot of freedom at the start. The safety car helped them. The virtual safety car helped them. The question now is going to be, can I manage this race back into an acceptable position? Or have we kind of lost out here in Australia? Remains to be seen. We have yet another safety car, and it might actually just be straight up a red flag here. We've Ocon crashing on turn 10.
Hit the wall.
That is him straight up out here, and he is parked on track, so I can imagine this might go to a red flag, and it did in fact go to red flag. But with the excess weight that we have on the car, it just
Red flag.
hasn't been possible to get anything done here in the wet. We've been losing positions even while pushing. And yeah, Ocon's crash there does kind of benefit us a little bit. Condition of restart is that it's going to be light rain and almost dry. Moderate rain after the restart. So just get a new inter on, and we're just going to go full attack until the end. There's just no other way around it, I think. Curious if there's going to be any soft runners, and I made the wrong mistake. I made a mistake. But I think we're okay. Lights out, away we go. Thought it was going to be a full safety car, so we went conserve. But yeah, we're now 13 kilograms excess in fuel. And that is going to suck massively here. Now, in terms of the lap history here, we can see that they have 22 kilograms of fuel. We have 39. So yeah, we have about 15 kilograms more than the cars around us, and that is a terrible, terrible problem. At least Leclerc got a decent start here. Hamilton got an amazing start, up into 9th. Shame I didn't look at him. But with this red flag now, we can at least try and get a couple of points back our way. Hamilton up to, Leclerc up to 5th here. About to challenge Norris, who did go into the pit lane. I think it just had a bit of a bad start, really. 15 laps to go means we just go full send. There's just no other way around it. And right now, that full send is paying off at least a little bit as Hamilton gets Gasly up into 8th place. And hopefully we can get Norris with Leclerc. Now, we are going to have a tiny bit of DRS here. Unfortunately, it's going up a little bit too quick. We could have had a chance to get an overtake done. Seems like we aren't going to be able to take advantage of that, unfortunately. But we are still just going to push these tires. We are going to try and get something done here. And as it stands right now, the top 3 here being different teams does benefit us heavily. So it's not all bad. As Leclerc does lose out to Russell there. As we kind of have to deal with overheating tires now. That is not going to be great. 12 laps to go though. And it's going to get wetter on track. I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. But yeah, we are definitely struggling with the amount of fuel on board. Let's just put it like that. I'm still going to keep on fighting, of course. Let's see what the last 12 laps have to offer here. We're getting close to the end here with just 3 laps to go. And honestly, we haven't really been able to make anything happen. On the flip side, Magnussen has dropped down to the podium slots. And we'll have to see what we can do with Leclerc. Hopefully, we can catch Tsunoda and potentially Magnussen. For Hamilton, it's just catching Gasly. But there isn't really, as I mentioned, much I can do at this stage. Our car is just straight up too heavy to really do anything with it. And for Hamilton now, we are going to deploy energy. See if we can just drive past the Williams. And honestly, for Leclerc, that is going to be the same scenario as Hamilton does get by with relative ease there, which is good. The question now is, can we just hold on to this position for the last couple of laps? And for Leclerc, can he get to a couple of improvements in position here? It would benefit us if he could, but if he can't, it's understandable. We just we're basically driving a bathtub compared to everyone else. We have great top speed, but that is really about it. And we are losing a lot of tire here, sitting behind him, burning it like this. No question about it. And even as you can see it, we can't really catch neither Tsunoda nor the RB right now. We're just that much heavier. Like, even while pushing everything we have, it isn't actually enough to catch the cars ahead. And I'm just going to deploy with Hamilton here to be on the safe side. But rain races are definitely going to be our crux this season, because of the fact that we do carry so much extra weight. And we don't really have a good way to get rid of it, really. Unfortunately for Leclerc, Magnussen, Tsunoda were a little bit too much to ask for. Piastri is going to win at home. So I guess that is a boon. Verstappen second, Norris third, Russell, and McLaren and Red Bulls getting that done is not good for us in the championship. I'm not going to lie.
7 at the end.
Ocon crashing out, I think it's still beneficial to us. Honestly, I don't think Hamilton would have scored points without it. You can already see just how much we suffered from the virtual safety car, the safety car, everything kind of together here. Piastri, 25 points gained and pushes up to second place now. And in the constructors, we lose 30 points to McLaren. They're already reeling us back in. We're just 25 points ahead now. So we need to avoid rain like the plague is the consensus here after our first wet race in Australia. Japan, in 11 days, could also be wet, unfortunately. We'll have to see how that goes. But now, though, we're going to start the design of another suspension. And for this one, it's still going to be a small increase in tire preservation. It's really one of our only advantages, as well as top speed. Let's just go ahead and get that underway. And this is going to be the one we put on the car. Underflow, we're probably also going to put on the car. Just going to be a small increase. We'll have to see if the CFD time of action invest in front wing here was worth it, however, because I'm not completely sure that it is going to be. But with that said, we are just going to jump directly into Suzuka and see if Japan will be just as painful as Australia. But we get to Japan, however, our new front wing has been completed, and we can also now take a look at the expectations. So luckily for us, it's only Friday that is going to be rainy. We're going to get a dry race itself. With front wing design here, we are going to go ahead and start another one, and hopefully this will give us a little bit of cornering compared to the Red Bulls, compared to the McLarens. I can only pray. But we're definitely getting some tire preservation, getting a little bit of cornering, but as can see, we're still pretty bad at it, like terrible. But it is definitely going to help. And 1.48% tire preservation, while it might not seem like a lot, everything helps. 3% dirty air. It's not a bad front wing, all things considered. It's actually pretty decent. Yeah, we're just going to do it like this. It is literally the best choice that we have. So we're going to put 6 engineers on it. We'll have it done in 26 days. Which means we could rush one for Miami, which is good. But all in all, it's not going to be a huge upgrade, let's be honest. But as I mentioned here, at this point, every little bit helps. So let's just get that underway. Suzuka's coming up. We are 12, 15, and 17 in cornering. We suck at DRS and dirty air. And if we compare ourselves to last time's winner, the McLarens, we're already starting to fall pretty significantly behind on the cornering aspect of the car. And that is not something we can easily make up here with just top speed. I do need to also get some DRS back with the rear wing. That is going to be our next CFD target. But yeah, Japan is up. Let's see how things go here. So qualifying here in Japan has finished, and we find ourselves in 4th and 6th. Not the worst thing ever, but with McLaren and Red Bull ahead of us, it's also not amazing. Let's just put it like that. Luckily for us, the other McLaren is pretty far behind. The RBs are going to be in the way. We have Tsunoda here. We have Bottas. But I don't think necessarily that's going to be very helpful. I'm not going to lie. Secondly, because of the fact that we've been basically abusing our engine so far, with 3 races in, and we've used 42% of this engine. Now, luckily, we do have 4 engines available. So unless we crash, we should still be able to make this work. But I have a suspicious... Well, I have a pretty strong guarantee that we're going to need to buy an extra engine this year because of the fact that we are pushing fuel every single race weekend. And even here, we're going to go quite a lot overweight from the get-go. Let's just be honest. That's just going to be how it is. Now, according to the AI, a one-stop strategy seems to be the strongest thing we can do around here, which honestly isn't a terrible idea, all things considered. Particularly for Leclerc here, who doesn't actually have an extra soft tire. But can I do something even funnier? As you can see, we don't save a lot of time by running the tires more aggressively. So I'm kind of tempted to do this. It is 3 seconds slower than the current strategy. But by running attack at the end of all 3 of these stints, I think we can make up for that. Pretty sure. And for Hamilton here, we're just going to put him on the very, very standard strategy here, which is a light into medium into another light soft. Could, of course, go a little bit more aggressive on the medium. I honestly think we're going to do that. Hit lap 20, destroy the medium, and then go back on a soft tire. I think that will work out just fine. So with that in mind, we're going to manage a little bit at start here. We are going to be dropping backwards, even if we run full attack because of the weight of the car. And that is just the painful reality of this maximum weight challenge with the extra weight going. So this is what we'll do. I think it will pay off. It might not. We'll have to wait and see here. But let's just get into the Japanese GP.
Well then, get ready. It's the Japanese Grand Prix.
It is indeed the Japanese Grand Prix. I see some mediums, but for the most part, just softs. So I don't think we're necessarily going to be seeing a lot of hard tires here, as Leclerc loses a position immediately. And in Hamilton's case there, actually giving Verstappen a bit of a push. Leclerc trying to win back that position. Hamilton remains 4th. And Ocon sails up to 6th here. But yeah, not a bad start. And honestly, the name of the game is just going to be management. Danny Rick has picked up some sort of damage. But that is not a huge concern for us. But yeah, managing is the name of the game. Let's see if it actually pays off, or if we're already going to start losing a lot of points here from Japan forwards. For the first 17 laps here, it's not been a good time. We're already almost a pit stop behind Verstappen with very similar tires. That extreme amount of excess weight here is definitely not helping us, and even basically a third into this race, we are still 7.5 and 8 kilograms overweight, which is definitely hampering our efforts here. Now, in terms of lap time now, we are quicker than Verstappen and Norris, but it's still going to take a lot of work here to get the gap back as we get Leclerc into the pits. And a lot of the cars behind us have already pitted. Russell, Ocon, Piastri, Magnussen, all of them has already been in the pits. So we're actually closer to 8th and 9th here on merit, which is not where we want to be. Let's just be honest. It's not where we want to be. We did pit late enough that we're going to have a pretty significant tire advantage. But as you can see, even Bottas is out ahead of us here with fresher tires. And for Leclerc managing, it's going to be difficult. No way around it. We'll just have to try and make the best out of a bad situation, and try and make a little bit more of a comeback towards the end of this race, because that is literally where we find ourselves at right now. Fuel is just slowing us down so much at the moment. We have a virtual safety car as Danny Rick has found the wall. That's good for Hamilton. That's bad for Leclerc. But there aren't actually too many cars that haven't pitted. It's just Norris. And Norris missed it here. That is not good for him. And yeah, it just spins out. Destroys the rear of the car. That might be a gearbox in the future. And if we take a look here at the time saved with this virtual safety car, it is a good 4 seconds. So once something goes our way, but virtual safety cars are actually net negative. Like, we save 4 seconds, yes, but how much is that going to cost us in fuel going the other way? That's basically going to be the big question here. How much is the fuel moving the other way of the dial going to cost us? But yeah, we're in 6th and 9th after the pit stops here. Let's see if we can improve. Norris is still staying out even on destroyed tires. I assume he's going to try a one-stop here. And just a couple laps later, Show decides to do the exact same thing as his teammate did in the exact same corner, giving Norris a chance to pit. And as I mentioned it, any virtual safety car is insanely negative for us. Can't really describe how bad it is. And yeah, it's literally an identical move as his teammate pulled just a few laps prior. With that, Norris now has pitted. We have the Red Bulls in 1-2. We're 25 and 16 seconds behind. This is going to be a hard job to catch up to them. We're getting close to the end here, and we have yet to pit. Verstappen and Russell have, however, and honestly, it's not looking too great. Now, I've probably pushed these mediums a little bit too hard, or rather a little bit too long. But it has given me the opportunity to just run full attack with Leclerc on the final stint. And that's exactly what we'll do. And honestly, I think even for Hamilton here, we might have a chance to run these softs fairly aggressively. I think just running aggressive straight out will be the thing that we do. Just to try and chase down the cars ahead. So these are going to be our final strategies here. We're going to get Leclerc in on this lap. And then we're going to get Hamilton in on the following to put on that soft tire. As you can see, with just 15 laps to go, we're still 7 kilograms overweight. And as I mentioned, we are losing a lot of time just from being overweight with the car. There's just no other way around it. There's just no way to sugarcoat it. Us being overweight is severely slowing us down. And the fuel limitation is definitely painful to deal with, as I think the Sauber here of Hulkenberg is just going to come out just barely ahead of us. And for Bottas, Verstappen, we're on very similar tires. We have a bit of a tire advantage to everyone else. So with 41 seconds, 20 seconds up to 4th here, it's going to be a hard. It's going to be a hard ask to get anything better than, I dare say, 5th and 6th here. 6th and 7th even might be a bit difficult. So we'll have to see how this actually works out. Hamilton now in the pits for those soft tires. Bottas flies by on the fastest lap. Norris might try and go till the end, as I mentioned, which honestly at one stopper seems to have been the better choice. Hamilton here comes out behind Ocon and Piastri. And genuinely here, we just need to clear them as quickly and efficiently as we can. And even then, I don't think we'll have much of a chance to chase down Russell here. We'll have to see if fate will be on our side, as Hulkenberg right now is keeping Leclerc at bay. Hamilton is looking for the move. Gets the move done on the RB here. Needs to now chase down Piastri, who's got a little bit of a gap. For Leclerc, can you do the similar move, so to speak, up into 8th place? Probably not the best place to do it, all things considered, but yeah, that Sauber is actually rapid, and he's definitely going to get that position back with DRS, I would think. Maybe I was wrong. Couldn't actually pull it off. We'll take that. I'll run a little bit of top up here behind Piastri because honestly, I don't think I can do anything else. The McLaren's are just a little bit too quick for us, even if he's on a hard tire. And the question is, can we chase down Russell? I think that too is going to be a little bit of a hard ask here, but we'll have to see what kind of lap times we're doing. Leclerc's doing 39s while being stuck behind Hulkenberg. And Piastri is probably going to get overtaken now on the straight. So we'll deploy a little bit of energy. We don't really have a lot, but it should be enough for us to just squeeze on by. That it is. Hamilton up to 5th here. And we did a 36 last lap. Russell at 31.4. We are reeling in the cars up front, but 10 laps to go here. It's going to be a hard ask. 4th is definitely the best that we can hope for. For Leclerc, he might catch Ocon, might catch Piastri. He's even quicker than his teammates, so let's see how that goes. Hamilton does have fresh air now, however, and with that, has been given a little bit of freedom. But again, Piastri is just going to stay with us. It's going to be back and forth all the way till the final lap here, I think. With 4 laps to go here, Hamilton has caught up to Russell, and honestly, we do have lower degradation than expected, so we could probably go full attack here for the last 4 laps. We're just going to play a little bit safe and wait one more lap before we do. For Leclerc, it's up to 7th here. We are gaining quite a lot here, really, per lap on Piastri, so 6 is definitely within sight. The question here is, what can we do with Hamilton? Tire-wise, we still have a pretty significant advantage. Norris's tires are kind of falling off a cliff too. I think we're going to be seeing a Bottas win here unless Verstappen can get involved. Yeah, for Hamilton here, deploy and overtake, please. That is all that I would ask of you. And he actually gets that done pretty easily. Now, 12 seconds up to Verstappen in the top 3 is probably going to be a little bit too much to ask for in just 3 laps time. But we will try and see what we can do here. And as I mentioned for Leclerc, trying to chase down Piastri is going to be the name of the game. Not really anything more we can give here. We're just going to have to hope that we'll catch him by the end of this. Final lap is underway, and while we have caught up to Piastri, it has cost us every ounce of energy that we have. For Hamilton, we're unfortunately still 6 seconds off 3rd place, 10 seconds off the lead. But Bottas and Verstappen are going to kind of fight that till the end. I think Verstappen's going to come out ahead purely due to tires. And that is just the, again, unfortunate reality of the situation. For Leclerc right now, this is going to be the last chance really to get an overtake done, so we're going to deploy. And even with that, we just don't have what it takes to keep up with the McLaren here. Verstappen wins, Bottas gets 2nd, Norris gets 3rd. We secure 4th, which is acceptable under the circumstances. Russell 5th, Piastri 6th, and then we'll have Leclerc. So, yeah, not the best race we've ever had, honestly. And I think this is going to kind of tell us how this season is going to go. On tracks where you're basically close to max fuel anyways, we're going to have good races because we aren't going to be heavily overweight compared to the AI. While on tracks where we have to overfuel by 10, 15 kilograms, we're going to get absolutely shafted. There's just no good way around that. But we are still need a championship, just barely, basically on wins. As Verstappen has caught up now. And in the constructors here, we're just 11 points ahead of Red Bull. So we're getting reeled in slowly but surely. And that is a bit of a problem. And we're also losing financials because we aren't performing as well as we would like. So we will have to deal with that. Next up is China, however, and I believe that is a nearly max fuel track anyways, so that should work out just fine for us. The regulation change, 5 versus 10%. We want to get 10% if we need to do another season. So any sort of hopes for this year, honestly. It's just how things are. And hopefully some of the new parts they want to come in, the front wing, suspension, underfloor. While the buff isn't going to be insane, it should be enough that we might be able to give, well, the other teams a little bit more of a fight. But yeah, Australia definitely was a bad race for us. It didn't really screw us over. Our car is made for Australia to begin with. Bit unfortunate with safety cars, with virtual safety cars. They're actually very, very bad for us, as you probably realized in these last two races. Any virtual safety car, any safety car just adds more weight to our car, while it allows the AI to regain some of the fuel they have in the negatives. So yeah, basically AI just need to conserve at the latter half of the race, which means they are basically still as quick as us, because even if we push the engine, we're still overweight with extra fuel, so it doesn't actually matter in terms of a pace perspective. So yeah, it's kind of rough. Hopefully the next couple of races will be a little bit kinder to us. Apologies it takes me so long to catch up to make another video of this. I've just been busy. Been playing some other games. Honestly, motivation hasn't been there, as I've just been tired after work for the past couple of weeks, but hoping to get a little bit more back into this now. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you still enjoyed. If you did enjoy, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Helps me out a ton, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.